So guys, we have a great question to address, and the question was, why do some people get better at jiu-jitsu faster than others? And it's an amazing question, and I guess it holds true across everything. Why does anyone get better at something better than others? And that's because we all have different skill sets, we all have different intentions and goals, and we have different requirements in our daily life. So take two students, for example. You have a 20-year-old ex-wrestler who's single and lives at home, and you have a 45-year-old father of three who works two jobs. It's very clear who's going to get better. And it's very clear why one's getting better than the other. But take environment out of it. Let's take two people who say they have the same home life, the same work life, and they both come into the academy and one's getting better than the other. Why? Well, jiu-jitsu is an art, it's a sport, and some of us are more athletically inclined than others, so you have a leg up and things just make sense to you. I've always viewed things as we can all master a technique, but each of us has a certain number of repetitions we have to meet. And once we've done that amount of reps, then we understand the technique and it's ours. And for some people, it's 1 or 2 times. They do it, they got it, it's in there. And for others, it might be 50, 60, 70 times. But the point is we all have a number. So it's, have you met your number of reps that allow you to understand the technique? And because we have different numbers, if say my number is 10 for everything and my buddy's is 5 for everything, he's going to get twice as good with us doing the same amount of reps. And it's just how it goes. But we're all on our own continuum. And I think it's whatever your number is, you can maximize the efficiency of your training by being a good student. So what does that mean? It means you have to pay attention. It means you need to be diligent. You need to ask questions. You need to keep a notebook. You need to constantly assess your own training and do thought experiments. How would I beat myself? Where am I weak? Where am I strong? Where am I weak and I'm ignoring it by just avoiding that aspect of training? And those answers will come flooding to your mind and you'll have a lot to work with. Jiu-jitsu is one of those arts where there's so many different ways to play it. You can play a big guy strong game. You can play a slow relaxed game, a fast spinning upside down game. You'll play a game that fits for your disposition. And that's what the best do. That's what you'll find as you go through blue, purple, brown, and black belts. You'll realize that the game is a mirror of your personality and the way you interact with the world. Now here's the cool thing. Some of us interact with the world better than others. What I mean by that in a pragmatic sense is there's a way forward toward your goal, and there are certain transdisciplinary modes of achieving that goal. And it's paying attention, confronting the obstacle, allowing yourself to let go of what you once were, embracing death or rebirth, and becoming something better. I mean, that's the foundation of the archetypal hero. That's the foundation of a good jiu-jitsu student. And some of us embody that process in our life, and we make a lot of progress, and we make many iterations along the way as we get better and better and better. But some of us don't want to fail. Some of us stay in safe ground, and you just kind of stay at this level playing field, and you get a little bit better, but you really have a low ceiling. But those who are willing to fail, who are willing to acknowledge their failure and humbly seek help from other people and put themselves in a position where they're going to fail, that's the ones that get better. I think even better said, when it comes to skill acquisition, you want to think of the Taoist symbol of yin and yang. And I learned this from Jordan Peterson. We've all heard it as like light and dark, masculine, feminine. But what it really is, phenomenologically, would be order and chaos. And your job, the Tao, the path, the way, is to walk that fine line that runs between those two paisleys. And that means you have one foot in order and the other in chaos, which means you're always on the verge of failure. You're always pushing yourself. You're in a little bit of the known, but you're also in a little bit of the unknown, which means you risk failure often. There are a lot of people that come into the academy. They find one guard pass that works, or they're really good at the guillotine, and that's all they do. And they stay there. And they never really get better. But then there are these other students that show up every day, and they're always on that verge of order and chaos, where they're always challenging themselves optimally, no matter who they're with. If they're with a brand new white belt, they're not doing the sweep they know is going to work. They're trying something that they don't know is going to work. And in allowing themselves to be vulnerable, they acquire strength. Comfort in Latin means with strength. So if you're already strong there, you're not going to adapt because you don't need to. It's our job to be uncomfortable, to put ourselves in a position where we're not strong so that we may acquire that strength. And I think that's probably the biggest factor in why some people get better and some don't, is because we all have different relationships to failure, and we all have different levels of ego that allows us to learn and admit our own ignorance. The students that come in and they're willing to fail. They acknowledge that they don't know a lot, and they publicly tell their instructors, and they tell their fellow, senior students, their peers, even the junior students. They admit their ignorance. It allows them to take in knowledge. There's this old Zen parable of a master and a student having tea, and the student's cup is full, and the master keeps pouring tea into it, and the student's looking, and he doesn't really understand it until finally, the tea's pouring all over the place, and the student says, "Master, stop. No more tea can go in. It's full." And the master says, "And you, like this cup, are full, and I can't give you what I have until you empty your cup." That's the growth process. And the great students are those who come in with an empty cup every day and say, "Hey, fill me up." Some people are willing to do that. They're the ones that make a lot of progress. Others aren't. They cling fast to their beliefs and to their ego, and they don't allow themselves to be vulnerable so they can grow. And I think that's why some people get better faster than others. There's a lot of factors in our home and work lives. There's factors with our athleticism. It's factors with our schedules and our goals. But at the end of the day, it's what quality of student are you? That's what makes the difference. And that's the best part, because we're a student in life. We're a student in relationships. We're a student in our business. And when you learn the foundations of studentship, of being a good student, they apply transferably across every domain. So you're learning how to do jiu-jitsu, but you're really learning how to learn, which means you're learning how to do anything. So to sum up that question, those who get better faster are better students. And it's our job to become a better student, to maximize our development on the mats. Hey friends, hope you liked the video. If you did, please subscribe to our page, like or comment, let us know how we're doing. My goal is to serve you guys through this medium and help share jiu-jitsu, because the more growth we make on the mat, the better our lives will be off of it, and the more we'll be able to contribute to those around us. So keep training hard. Thanks for watching, and keep aiming up.